Hello, everyone. It's been a while, and actually, it has been my job that I've taken some of my time to be coming up with one or two uh, tutorials on networking, or routing, and switching. So my apologies for that break. So I'm back to this content creation on routing and switching, and do expect more from me. So for today, I'll just be talking about VPNs, as I intend to bring in more practicals on VPN as time goes on. But the way I take my presentation normally, I like going through just a little intro, like a theory, so that when I'm into the practical, you know what it is that I'm doing. So this is just theory for today, and I urge you to just join me as I go through. So for today, I had this presentation that I've made. Your go-to guide for VPN options. And like I said, I'll be bringing in the practice. After this, the next presentation will be on the practicals, majorly on what do we call it, on MikroTik, and then I also do one or two for Cisco. For Cisco, it will be majorly on IKE V1 and IKE V2 IPsec. But on MikroTik, most of the solutions I'll be doing will be on WireGuard and the point-to-point protocols. So for today, let me go through this, and I'll just go through by reading some of them and also make some explanation wherever I see fit. So what's a VPN actually? Like I said, I always go through the theory so that you get to know what I'm doing when I'm in the practical. What is a VPN? A VPN is a business grade solution that creates encrypted tunnels between remote users and company internal network. Unlike consumers VPN, which focus on individual privacy, enterprise VPNs literally are designed to connect employees securely to internal systems from anywhere, protect sensitive business data from cyber threats, central control for IT teams to manage access and monitor activities. Now, you know that our one technologies. What I mean by that is our internet protocol. You understand? Is actually shared. There's no single individual that will say he own a fiber connection from Nigeria connecting to abroad, or maybe you as a business owner, you want to establish a branch, and I'm based in Nigeria. You want to establish a branch in Abuja, or you start running your own fiber from Abuja down to Lagos. It is actually not profitable business wise. So all business actually share existing infrastructure, just like MTN and the rest of the ISPs that we have here in Nigeria. Just giving an example. So we share this infrastructure, and for you for you to move your data from here to Lagos, for example, from Abuja to Lagos, for example, actually based in Abuja, it is going to involve your data will be seen. So you have to encrypt your data such that users may not see, for middleman to not see, and all that. So also for this, let me give an example now. If you are moving your information, maybe you are doing a public transport from here to from point A to point B, the people along the road are going to see what you are carrying. So, um, but in the other way, if you move your information, you have a tunnel created from point A to point B. That data or whatever it is that you are carrying is going to be known only to you. There are so many things that you might want to keep private. Your um, your credentials, your ATM, your sensitive informations, and all that. So, so those some of those are some of the reasons why people use VPN. So let me just go to this. Why do people use VPNs? Reasons and explanations. Enhance privacy. You understand? This explanation this prevents ISP advertisers and websites from tracking your profile activities and building a profile on you. The website that you visit most often, for example, maybe I like visiting Jumia, for example, or eBay or so, to just to go and look for a particular, um, let me see, an item. Such website can learn what it is I'm interested in and be giving me such adverts consistently. So, so, so such profiles can be built on your profile on you. Security in public places, as you are aware, in public places, it's not actually safe to just start using public IP in public spaces where you don't know who owns the Wi-Fi. You don't know the number of users that are connected in such environment. You understand? So there might be man in the middle and use highs that are actually there connected to that Wi-Fi, and you can transfer sensitive information in such a public environment. Now, there are some certain bypassing view restriction. There are some certain countries, for example, that restrict Facebook. You understand? So, in order for you to bypass such geo restriction, you might want to um, connect a VPN to a country where such what do we call it um, services are allowed. You understand? And then you bypass such restriction. And censorship, still the same thing, almost the same thing as this restriction. You understand? Maybe government trying to censor certain countries, like now in Nigeria, um, I might there might be some certain website I cannot access in United States because my country has been censored. So, in order for me to access such resources, I have to be in that particular domain. I have to use such IP that is in that country and then to use it. So, those are some of the reasons why you might need VPN. ISP do throttle your traffic. For example, if you are using point-to-point protocol, avoiding throttling, if you are using torrenting, they might notice that you are doing P2P and then throttle your traffic down. You understand? So another reasons for using VPN is that you understand they will not see what you are using because you have encrypted your traffic. You understand over their network. Then for remote work, these remote work are often called road warriors. Maybe warriors. Let me say road warriors is one of them. Maybe like you're a professional that used to travel abroad, not within the vicinity of the company. You need a VPN to access your resources wherever you are in the country, or such a time that we have to work from home. You understand? So you might need to go through the public IP to access your resources in your company. You understand? So that you work and get access to whatever it is that you have to you have to be doing when you are in your company environment. So some of that are the reasons. So important considerations and limitations when choosing a VPN. Now, many people often want to say, okay, let me go to get free VPNs. Now, free VPNs are actually not free. You are actually the product if you are not paying for it. So, VPNs are not 100% anonymous. Okay, this is what I was saying. Free VPNs are often have drawbacks. Many free websites they make money by selling your data, showing you ads or offering very limited data and slow speed for you for serious use. A paid VPN is almost always recommended. In fact, paid VPN is recommended. You understand? Otherwise, you are going to be the product. Nothing is actually free. You understand? So your data and your information can be sold out to people who are interested because this VPN you are using is a client to server based kind of network. You are accessing the server to encrypt your data and all that. So if they want, they can see your information. So they are VPNs are not 100% anonymous. The VPN provider actually can log your information as well. You understand your history and whatever it is that you access. If you go, for example, now you go and download movies illegally, which is not allowed, and then they log your information. At the end of the day, they can trace it back to you and your time and information that so person use it. So these are some of the things you should know. about VPN. They can sometimes slow your connection because of the headers, because of the encryption. Additional header that are being added, the encryption can slow. It can slow down because of data is taking a longer route through encryption process. The internet speed can sometimes is slower. So they are illegal or restricted in some countries. Countries like China, Iran, Russia often ban or restrict the use of unauthorized VPN. And because they know that with VPN you can avoid or evade um, their restrictions. You understand? You connected to another country and you're able to see Facebook when Facebook is actually not allowed in such countries. The most common VPN and modern protocols. Now, this is the part I really want to talk about because we're actually going through it. Now, we have the OpenVPN. This is the most common and modern protocol. There's another section here. Now, OpenVPN might not be a modern protocol, it's an old protocol actually, but it is commonly used. Why? Because it is very secure. Now, and it also it has a way of avoiding firewalls. An open source which highly comparable, very secure because it is considered the old gold standard for many years due to its strong encryption using open SSL library and reliability. It can run on both UDP for speed and TCP for reliability. But with TCP, additional header and all that, and reliability connection for response to and fro can actually slow down network a little bit using TCP. But for UDP, it is much faster. Then pros, very secure, stable, good speed, bypass firewalls. You understand? Well, especially in TCP mode on port 443. Open source. Cones can be slower than newer protocols like WireGuard due to higher code complexity. Now you see this particular, especially in TCP mode on port 443. So port 443 is actually HTTPs. You understand? Secure um, browsing. You have a port number for secure browsing on your internet using a browser, which is HTTPs. Now, most ISP will definitely not block port 443. If you do that, what is your internet service for? So if you use TCP 443, you can have bypass firewalls. Then you have WireGuard, the newest and major protocol designed to be simpler and faster. This is a modern protocol and uses uh, cryptography. The newest major protocol designed to be simpler, faster, more efficient, open than OpenVPN and IPsec. It uses the state-of-the-art cryptography and much smaller code base, easier to audit and maintain. A minute, please. So, um, pros: extremely fast connection times, very high speed, modern cryptography, lightweight, excellent, and so on and so forth. Cons: still relatively new. It is the default requirement for static IP address led to privacy concerns, which are now addressed by most providers. And implementation reinforced WireGuard with dynamic keys. So, WireGuard is a registered trademark of Jason A. Donner. That's the creator of this WireGuard. And WireGuard will be one of those topics that we also handle on the lab, the practical that will take on the lab. So WireGuard is one of them. And then let's move to most common. Okay. Uh, okay, most common VPN and modern protocols. Now, if any of these for road warriors, uh, also okay, maybe for your enterprise network as well, which is site to site. If any of these cannot serve you, the fallback is IPv to an IPsec. A very stable and secure protocol. There's a table I make here for comparison. Often paired with IPsec to encryption. It was developed jointly by Microsoft and Cisco. Pros: exceptionally good at reconnecting automatically after dropping connection, e.g., switching from Wi-Fi to mobile data, very fast and secure. Cons: can be blocked by firewalls more easily as it uses fixed ports, and implementation, especially from Microsoft, is not open source. Fixed port means that it uses, I think, UTP port 500 or so, and also uses port 50 encapsulation. Encapsulation. Those ports are known and then be applied on firewall and then and get blocked. So common but older or less secure protocol. These are common legacy protocols, common but older or less secure. These protocols are still available but generally considered outdated or less secure for modern use, for up-to-date use. L2TP on its own is not secure, but used with IPsec makes it secure. And this is a thing in those days, but now it is gradually going away because of newer versions. People are still using it, but things are growing, and then it's time you get to be dropping such protocol. In fact, in mobile, if you update your Android phone to the latest version, you may not see L2TP IPsec anymore. L2TP itself does not provide encryption, so it's almost always bundled with IPsec. It was the successor to PPTP, the father of them all. It was one of those first protocols. So more secure than PPTP, widely supported on devices. Yes, that's one of the pros. Cons: slower than OpenVPN and WireGuard when used with IPsec because it encapsulates data twice, and it is believed to have been compromised by NSA according to Snowden leaks. You can see what is being said about it. So PPTP, one of the oldest VPN protocol developed by Microsoft led consortium. It it has no major security drawbacks. Pros: very fast due to weak encryption built into almost every operating system, easy to set up. Cons: not secure, it should not be used. Its encryption can be broken easily. Avoid this protocol for any privacy or security related task. So now, except you are in a controlled environment, maybe in a production environment, for example, in an ISP environment, in an autonomous system, you understand, you want to quickly use it to achieve something between point A and point B in a controlled environment, not in a public domain over the internet. No, you can use it, but but anything outside that on the internet never to be used. SSTP, Secure Socket Tunneling Protocol. A Microsoft developed protocol that uses SSL 3.0. In Microtik, actually, it's 2.0 I've seen, but I think I'll have to check again if SSL 3.0 is there, making it very good for bypassing firewalls as it travels over uh, uh, port 443. You understand? Just like HTTP traffic. I've said this thing before in OpenVPN. You understand? So at the time I was using this. It is actually very secure protocol as well, but it's old. The only drawback to it is fully very good at circumventing censorship, especially in a country like China, for example, that certain ports are blocked, maybe for L2TP and IPsec, or for OpenVPN. Because the OpenVPN, you can use TCP for 4.3. So um, SSTP will circumvent their censorship because what 3 uses HTTP traffic. Cons: primarily Windows only technology, not independently audited. Now, this not independently audited closed source, that is where the issue is. There's a thing known to Microsoft, with due respect, that they might have backdoor to their system. Maybe government trying to get some information and all that about certain users and things like that. So it is closed source. It is not something that easily audited like open source code and all that. So, and it ties to Microsoft as a concern for some time. You understand? But well, I still use it, so I don't have issues so far. So, key notes on ports and transport protocols. Some of those things I just want to point out in case you are using this thing. Oppo VPN, its ability to use TCP/443 using our traffic is the biggest strength by bypassing firewall censorship. WireGuard is exclusive, uses UDP. That is why it is very fast for minimal design and speed. Why a default port is this. A key advantage is that it can easily be configured to run on any port like UDP 53, which is a DNS traffic, or UDP 443 to avoid blocking. You understand? Though in my code, I think it's 13 something or so that is the port, the listening port. I can't remember anyway. However, just as it is stated there, you can use any port. You can change the port to any port to avoid blocking by ISP or whatsoever. So, IKEv2 stroke IPsec, this protocol suite uses multiple ports, as earlier stated, and can easily be blocked by firewalls. UDP 500 is for initial key exchange. UDP 4500 is used for NAT transverse. Uh, Devices which are common in home routers, the actual encrypted data is carried out on ESP, encapsulation, I think security payload or so. Protocol. Its IP protocol is 50, ESP50, so and can sometimes be blocked by straight firewalls. So L2TP IPsec is a combination of two protocols, L2TP and IPsec itself. L2TP tunnel itself is not secure. It has to be used with IPsec to be secure. It's using UTP 1710. Then the IPsec requires UTP 500 and 4500. This multiple port nature can make it easier to block. As earlier stated, SSTP uses TCP/443. This was one of the reasons I was using SSTP, and it's usually very secure, but it is old. Currently, I don't use them anymore. I use WireGuard for all my tunnels, for my mobile phone and my PC. So one of those lectures, upcoming lectures, practical lectures, I will do configuration for this, and for this. Um, Not open VPN yet, but for this PP, I might do for open VPN if my time permits. Yeah, but for PPTP, I'm not going there. I'm not going to do anything on PPTP. Then, this is a comparison table that I made for VPNs. WireGuard, very fast, excellence, very fast. WireGuard, very the speed, very fast, security, excellence, stability, excellent. This cryptography that uses that's a modern protocol, best for streaming, gaming, and so on and so forth. I don't think I'll need to. Okay, I'll just read some of them. OpenVPN fast, just because of the TCP encryption. That is why it would have gone to very fast as well. Security excellent, and then stability excellent. Security bypassing firewalls and general use. IPsec, IKEv2, fast, strong, excellent, mobile devices seamless switching. You understand? Um, HTTP IPsec, medium, the speed, medium, security moderate. And like I told you, it's not becoming obsolete gradually. It's a thing in the past, but not in this modern day. Stability good, legacy systems were better options. So the advantage that is well integrated in many devices. You find it in many devices, but in new updates of Android, you will not find it anymore. SSTP medium, security strong, is even better than this guy. Good, bypassing firewalls on Windows. PTP very fast, uh, very fast. Yes, of course, it will be very fast. Its encryption is weak, very weak. Medium, avoid use for streaming only. It should not even be used for any stuff. So GROE very fast, not by itself, it is not encrypted if used on it. It's actually meant for just encrypting packets. That's the primary use of GROE, and it's used by for enterprise environment. So security is good. Like you said, creating a tunnel network must be used with IPsec for security, site to site links. EOIP, this is a MikroTik thing, very fast, known by itself. It can be used with IPsec. good bridging network at layer 2 and must be used with IPsec for security. So the summary recommendation summary for most users, speed and simplicity. WireGuard is the best choice in 2024, offering a perfect blend for top tier speed and modernity. That is for road users. I don't really recommend it for branch to branch kind of tunnel because it does not encapsulate or protocol like GROE. So for branch to branch, ISP or companies, I recommend GROE, DMPPM and the likes. You understand? With IPsec. For maximum coverage security and availability, OpenVPN remains highly secure and reliable for back. Excellent for bypassing the security firewalls and all that. For road warriors, I know people this is where they are more interested. This is where they have interest. For road warriors, people that travel often and then they will need to access their company remotely from wherever they are over the internet. Internet, as we know, is a stretched infrastructure and it's not safe, and there are many users in between. So we have the WireGuard, like a V2 to IPsec is ideal if if you frequently switch between Wi-Fi and data and things like that. So for connect the entire network, site to site VPN, GROE almost always used with IPsec for encryption is the standard for creating secure, stable tunnels between two remote networks, such as connecting a branch office to headquarters. It is a specialist tool for network administrators, not for individual personal use. So that's the difference between this Java and all that. It's not for individual VPN use. You understand? To be avoided, which is PPTP. Always avoid PPTP, point to point tunnel protocol, if security is a concern. L2TP and IPsec and STP are legacy options that are generally being superseded by WireGuard and OpenVPN. I use SSTP. Those days I use L2TP, but not anymore. But SSTP is more considered secure than this guy. WireGuard and OpenVPN is the state of the art security protocol. So, like I earlier stated, you can see the comparison table here. L2TP security wise good. SSTP, this is SSTP. Okay, good. Let me see. Okay, security wise, sorry. Strong. LTTP is moderate. So, well, that comes to the end of today's intro to the VPN and a guide to you choosing which VPN you would want to use. So, as usual, if you enjoy my introduction, um, kindly just promote my channel by helping to share to your loved ones and friends to help me grow my channel. And then, thank you. So, the next presentation talking on. I'll be fine to be a lab team. To be a lab team, I promise to carry out LTTP configuration, both full and static whatever method. I've done EUIP before, so I don't think you can go to my one of my videos to see. Sorry, I've done PPOE before. You're going to be and see PPOE. I'll do L2TP, I'll do EUIP, I'll do SSTP, I'll do like a V1, like a V2, Microtik or Cisco, and then which other one again? I'll do WireGuard as well. You understand? So that is all for now, and thank you for listening. Um, do have a blessed day. Bye.